All right, let's jump right in. Today we're talking about a really interesting new tool for the legal world. It's called Della, and it's an AI law office administrator that's built to solve a problem that, honestly, most law firms probably don't even know they have.
So to really get what Della is all about, let's start with a little thought experiment. Picture this. You're running a law firm. Now, what if I told you that your single most valuable asset
Could literally just stand up, walk out the door, and take all that priceless experience, all that knowledge, all that know-how, right out with them? And no, I'm not talking about your client lists or your fancy computers. I'm talking about the stuff that's stored up here, inside your team's heads.
And that right there, that brings us to the real heart of the problem. It's this idea of unspoken systems. You know, all those invisible processes that are the real engine making a law office actually run day to day.
So what are we even talking about here? Well, these unspoken systems are all those little things, the mental checklists, the habits, the specific routines that a seasoned paralegal or a senior partner they just know how to do it. It's not written down anywhere, it's all intuition, and you can see where this is going, right? That's a massive risk, because when that person leaves, the whole system just walks out the door with them.
So the big question is, how do you fix that? How do you stop all that critical knowledge from just vanishing? Well, this is exactly where Della comes in. And what's interesting is how it's being framed. It's not just, another app. It's being pitched as a whole new category of tool. And this is a really important distinction to make. See, Della isn't trying to be just another AI assistant that you tell what to do. Nope. Instead, it's all about providing administrative expertise. The whole point isn't just to check off tasks on a list. It's to actually build, document, and manage the systems that make the office tick. So think of it as a strategic tool, not just a simple task doer.
I love this quote because it really nails the two-sided nature of this thing. Think about it. When your team has a bit of breathing room, Della acts like a mentor. It's there to teach them how to document their workflows, how to build those systems. But when things get crazy and time is tight, boom, it flips roles and becomes the administrator, actually running those processes for them. Pretty smart, right?
Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work? Well, it all boils down to three main roles that Della plays, and they all have one single purpose: to systemize the business side of law so the attorneys can just focus on, practicing law. And these roles really build on top of each other. So first up, it acts as an administrative engine. This is for all the daily grind stuff: case management, billing, you name it. Then, number two, it's a codification system. And this is the magic part, really. This is where it captures all those unspoken systems we talked about and turns them into actual written-down procedures. And finally, it's a structured brainstormer. This helps you take those big, creative ideas and shape them into real, actionable plans.
Okay, but this whole thing isn't just a jumble of features thrown together. There's actually a core philosophy behind it, and that philosophy is called the Lex Techne framework.
And the name itself is pretty cool. It kind of tells you everything you need to know. Lex, that's Latin for law, right? And techne, that's Greek for craft or skill. So you put them together, and Lex Techne is basically the craft of law. And what that means here is a philosophy built on structured thinking and disciplined execution. It's really about bringing some order, some procedural logic, to the often messy and chaotic world of generative AI.
And this is a super important point, so let me say it again. The goal here is not automation. This isn't about replacing lawyers. It's all about augmentation. It's meant to enhance and structure what humans are already good at, not kick them out. It's providing the framework, the guardrails, so that human creativity can lead to consistent, reliable results every single time.
And the backstory here is actually pretty interesting. This whole thing started out as a classroom AI model called Polly. It was developed by a professor, Joseph Villette, who's also a practicing attorney. And that academic origin story is a big part of its identity. It's meant to give it this sense of precision and rigor, bridging that gap between what you learn in a classroom and what happens in the real world.
All right, so we get the concept, we get the philosophy, but let's talk brass tacks. What's the real-world value? This next part cuts right to the chase, looking at Della as an investment and stacking it up against the alternative.
And the numbers here really speak for themselves. I mean, look at this. The average salary for a human law firm administrator, you're looking at around $90,000 a year. Della, which is designed to give you that same kind of operational clarity and structure, well, let's just say it comes in at a very different price.
And there it is, $199. One time.
Think about that for a second. That's less than what a lot of firms bill for a single hour of work. When you put it like that, it really puts the whole investment thing into perspective, doesn't it?
So what do you get for that one-time fee? Well, you get the whole shebang. You get the custom GPT itself, all those pre-configured Lex TechNest frameworks we talked about, a bunch of prompt templates to get you up and running, user guides, onboarding stuff, and a whole suite of workflow and checklist tools that were all built with safety as a top priority.
And speaking of safety, look, this is absolutely crucial for any tool touching the legal world. Della was built from the ground up with some very firm guardrails in place. It will not give legal advice, it will not interpret the law, and maybe most importantly, it holds on to zero client data. That professional integrity isn't just a feature, it's baked right into its DNA.
You know, when you boil it all down, this quote really says it best. It's about transforming what you and your team already do intuitively into systems that can scale intentionally. It's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about taking the genius that's already in your firm and making it something that's documented, repeatable, and ready to grow.
And that really leaves us with a big final question to chew on. As tools like Della become more and more common, maybe the future of expertise isn't just about having knowledge in your head anymore. Maybe it's about being able to systemize it, to capture it, structure it, and make it usable for everyone else. Definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.